We're out in the garage today. We're going to look at my powder coat oven that I built and my powder coat booth for applying the powder. It's all homemade. You probably can build your own if you want to see how I built mine. This is how. I tore apart this machine. It made cardboard panels and glued them together and heated them up. So it's made for heat. These panels are. They're insulated, but I have all different sizes of them. They're kind of modular, so you can stick one together to the next. So that's what I started building my powdering booth out of. I'm also in the process of building a bigger powder coat oven, but I just use it for my personal stuff. He's a shop supervisor. I'm building an oven right now out of these. I'm working on building an oven at least. I want to fit this rack in it. These are the sides. I've got two sides stuck together with these panels. It's coming along really nice. They just kind of slide together. And then this is actually the bottom up here. This channel just ties them together, makes them stay nice. And there's the back. Some more panels stuck together. I have to work on figuring out the roof and the floor still. I had some extra panels originally when I started that were kind of odd size, so I made a little powder booth here for applying the powder to the parts. It's just made out of the same panels. These ones have little doors in them. I put some lights, cheap lights in here, and then I have a suction system in the back for air, pulls it out, filters and collects all the loose powder, shake them out every now and then. Up here I have some blowers that suck all the air out through the filters, and then there's a knob right here on both of them. You can turn them on and off. They're adjustable speed, pretty much just run them full speed. This is a little butterfly we cut out. I heated it up with a torch and then powder coated it in a clear coat. Kind of looks pretty neat. The powder coat machine. That's what we use to apply the powder. It's just a Chinese machine. Come from that Viver website. It's pretty cheap. Does a really good job though. Come with a big canister. I bought a smaller one. Yeah, that's a fluidized hopper back there. It keeps air going through the powder so it doesn't get all packed in one side or anything. It works pretty good. To run this powder coat setup here, all you need is 110 power and some air ran to it. It doesn't take much air pressure. Pretty simple. This big ugly thing here is the oven I built. I made it out of 2 electrical enclosure panels. I still have to come up with a better latch. I'm just using a clamp, but it's just about 5 foot by 3 foot wide. It's 2 electrical enclosures welded together, and then I have 2 stove heating elements in the bottom, some fire bricks. It works pretty good. It's kind of dirty looking right now, but it does a good job. Heats up to over 400 degrees, no problem. I got a little hanger welded up in there. It's running off a PID controller. You can get them pretty cheap. This one runs on 220. Here's what it looks like inside. There's not really much to it. You got some fuses coming off the coils to You don't overload it. And there's a circuit breaker that turns on and off. These controllers will run on 110 or 220, which is nice. I built a smaller oven out of a smoker. But yeah, this is just pretty much electrical enclosures welded together to make it bigger. And then these are just metal studs, like wall studs. And I put insulation between it, and I had some pole barn steel left over, so it's just made out of leftover stuff. This whole setup was pretty much cost me barely anything to build. Coils and the lights were probably the most expensive thing. That's just a leftover handle off a toolbox. Here's a couple welcome signs that we powder coated with some textured powder coat. I think that's like silver vein, and this one's like US penny copper. It's got a little texture to it. You can kind of see it. I don't know if the camera's picking up the texture, but it looks really cool in the sunlight. Just some simple little welcome signs we cut on the plastic table. Here's my smoker that I converted into a powder coat oven. When I first started out, I was just doing small things like parts for my Jeep and tumblers and just playing around with it. This one runs on 110. This also has a PID controller running it. I think I got it for 20 bucks a controller. So I'm just using a 60-gallon air compressor. I also have it so it runs through this air dryer here. In the air dryer, I put a motor guard filter on the back. And that goes back through the one on the wall actually. And then there's a shut off so that everything's not losing pressure. That is my homebrew powder coat setup made out of repurposed parts.